All right. Welcome to SloanTV. It's August 18th, 2010, and we're coming to you live from Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm Tom Rose.
I'm Miro Kazakoff.
And this is our negative first episode. And actually, before you explain what that is, let me just ask you a question, Miro. What's the deal with this show thing?
Well, I will answer with another question. Are we actually on the air right now? Because I'm looking at my computer, and I just saw a commercial that was ending.
No.
So I'm not sure that anyone saw our first 30-second introduction.
No, I think people saw, only you saw the commercial. So all the other viewers out there, there's 3 viewers right now, saw something else.
So those 3 viewers consist of my computer that's off screen right here, and probably my wife actually watching at home, as she's the only person I told about this as our negative 1 episode.
And we have, of course, our live studio audience who's very excited. Yeah, super excited. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So what's the deal with this show, Tom? This is our podcast here from Sloan, where we talk about issues related to business and an MBA. What I'll ask is that everyone go ahead and follow us. You can follow me on Twitter at @MiroKaz.
And you can follow me at @TheRealTomRose.
And you can check us out at SloanTV.com and at blog.SloanTV.com.
And so what should people be doing next week on Wednesday at 4:30?
They should be here in the lobby of Sloan at the building E51, where we'll be recording show 0 in preparation for our launch of show number 1 during the first week of school.
All right, sweet. So let's go over to a headline. Our first headline for the week is going to be Groove Shark was pulled off of the shelves at the iPhone App Store.
So what is Groove Shark?
So if you haven't heard of Groove Shark before, Groove Shark is it's an application online that you can use to play music.
No, I have lots of applications online I can use to play music. I have Pandora, I have my iPod, I have my iPhones. What do I need another application for, other than, as we are as business school students, we know lots of people trying to start businesses for the sake of trying to start something. Is that what this is?
No. So Groove Shark is it's pretty well established. People have been using it a lot. What it allows you to do, how it's different from Pandora, is it allows you to put in the name of a song and queue it up and play it immediately. So you can pull up any artist, any song, and so it's great if you're a DJ or something like that.
So my understanding was you couldn't do that on Pandora because of copyright laws. That would just be the same as buying music.
Right, and that would potentially explain why it was yanked off the iTunes store.
So does Apple have an explanation?
So when Apple was asked, Apple's response was that there was a takedown request. Although I would personally speculate that potentially Groove Sharks was honing in on some of the iTunes sales.
So does this mean I can just go and make a takedown request for anything that I want on the iTunes store? Like if I don't like, a flashlight app, can I just have it yanked?
Maybe you should go try to ask.
Okay.
Let's see if we can. Let's ask to have like Google Maps taken off of the iPhone and see what happens.
So I guess what we should do is we should ask our entire audience, a la Stephen Colbert style, to go and try and undermine a major national corporation in Google.
Yeah, and actually tweet back #SloanTV and let us know which one you are trying to get taken down, and we'll join in the fight with you and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
So why are we doing this show?
So
why are you doing the show?
So why am I doing this show? We talked about a couple of reasons, and certainly you can go to blog.sloantv.com, and we've talked about some of them. But for me, it's a chance to, well, I think this really started when you mentioned it, but we've been spending the summer both interning at HubSpot. And at HubSpot, every Friday, they do HubSpot TV. And at HubSpot TV...
God, I love HubSpot TV. It's awesome.
So much so that you potentially are thinking of copying their format?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a blatant ripoff of HubSpot TV, minus the beer, and we're working on that.
So at HubSpot TV, every week they come and they talk about marketing events in the news. They do a quick podcast, and the entire company gathers around and has a chance to basically learn about what's going on in marketing. So, one of my goals for this is to do something similar for our business school. And also to help build, to do some personal branding, to be able to get out there. And boy, it's a boatload of fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
So the main reason I want to do it is, to increase my personal brand, but also I think it'll help me, encourage me to bring things to the next level, basically. Okay. Get something together every week and actually, put it out there for people to see.
So when you say bring things to the next level, that's the most meaningless, empty MBA phrase possible. What does that mean?
I mean, I'm looking for something to help, drive me to perform and be a little bit better at life.
Okay.
So, if it's out there and people are watching, then, there's a higher standard.
Mm-hmm. And there's another important reason that you listed.
Which is what?
I believe on the blog, I can pull it up, but it was be rich, famous, and late.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and there's I'm not even sure who this quote is from. It may be anonymous, but somebody was said one time that let's see, the worst thing you ever wrote is better than the best thing you never wrote. The idea being you just got to put it out there, and if you don't do it, it's worse than the worst thing you could ever possibly do.
But that doesn't explain the rich, famous, and late quote to your wife.
Well, she's not watching.
Oh, she will be.
All right, so how are we making this happen? Camera and equipment.
Yeah, so why don't you talk a little bit about how technologically you've put this together? Because one of the goals that we have for this show is to really put as much of our thought process as possible online. So if you go to blog.sloan.tv, essentially in lieu of emails with each other, what we're trying to do is post all of our commentary on thinking on that blog. And we ask you, the audience, to actually participate in the conversation about what will be on TV and help us explore kind of what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So for instance, after this show, Tom and I are going to watch and actually post our critiques and notes of our own show online. So you'll get to see us beat ourselves up.
And we're streaming it live to you via livestream.com, which is the host of this stuff here. There's a scroll bar that you can see, hopefully, and there's a little branded SloanTV logo up there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's right
Okay.
there.
No, sorry. Okay.
And this is all natural, actually. This stuff right here.
So give folks a sense. How do you find live stream?
I stole it from HubSpot TV.
So you actually ran out with a CD?
That's right. So HubSpot TV can't be live at the same time as us.
Okay, that's not true.
But we would be competing for the same viewers, and that's bad.
So you found this. So this is the software that they use online.
Yeah.
And do we pay for this?
No.
So this is totally. So wait, but how do they make any money?
Well, we have to finish the show before the ads come on. So we need to keep this thing short. Speaking of which, why don't we move on?
When do ads come on?
I think 15 minutes. They come in 20 seconds in and then 15 minutes in.
Yep.
So if you don't want to see ads during the intro, you have to log in at least 30 seconds beforehand. Yep. Actually, 60 seconds.
Got it. And just to give you a sense of what we're looking at, so right now we're actually looking at Tom's computer. We're using just the camera on his MacBook Pro, and we're recording it out of the microphone on his MacBook as well. So at this point, no additional equipment. I think we're looking at potentially at getting a camera, but we want to see how this works with just the lowest tech setup that you can imagine at home too.
All right.
Or in your dorm, I guess would be more appropriate.
So Miro, what is the business tip of the week?
All right, so the business tip of the week is that choices you make early in a venture have an important impact on what comes next.
Give me an example.
Yeah, so it might sound trite, but for instance, in this particular podcast, or this particular show, we've talked about how we wanted to expose all of our ideas online. Now, the quickest idea to get something going was just to set up a blog on Blogger. Now that we have about 15 posts on there, I'm kind of regretting that we don't have a wiki. But setting up a wiki now that we have all this content would be a lot more work. So that choice made really early is going to have an important direction on how we end up interacting with each other and interacting with you.
Plus we'd have to get buy-in from all the staff on the show. And that's tough because, we hate meetings and there's so many of us that it's hard to get everybody together in one room.
I hope for the day where that isn't sarcasm. We're hoping it's coming soon.
Yeah, we have 300 interns in waiting.
Check out our internship program later this year. We think you'll enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, you're definitely going to like that.
Yeah. So Tom, what's on your radar for this upcoming week?
What's on my radar is the BlackBerry Torch. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but the BlackBerry's RIM is releasing a new phone called the BlackBerry Torch. I'm not going to be buying one, but I keep seeing advertisements for them everywhere. And I'm wondering whether or not this is going to bring BlackBerry back from the dead a little bit. Mm-hmm.
So while normally this would be the kind of concern that I would have as well, my big news this week is my wedding celebration is this weekend. Hi, Elizabeth. So I'm actually technically already married, as my wife and I eloped in Vegas.
Not to me, to somebody else.
My wife and I eloped in Vegas over January, and we're throwing a party for our friends. Fittingly enough, for SloanTV, it's going to be here on Sloan's campus on Saturday. If you're in the neighborhood around 6 p.m., there may be some leftover barbecue for you.
I heard there was a cabaret involved.
There is going to be, the night before, we were going to Jacques' Cabaret. Tom, will you be there?
Yes, I will be there.
Excellent. We're looking forward to it.
All right. That's it.
Night,
Have
everyone.
a good one. We'll see you next week.